Commissioners for November. We will stand for the invocation after we have the Lord's Prayer, and I'm going to ask Olivia if she would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance after the Lord's Prayer. Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I would like to say before we start, Bill, it's good to see you out and about.
Well, I'm glad to be out and about.
It's good to see you. Things are going good for you?
Yeah.
That's good. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hughes.
Here.
Commissioner Mosier.
Here.
Commissioner Richardson.
Here.
Commissioner West.
Here.
Commissioner Stockton.
Here.
Okay, all here. Minutes were in your packet. Is there a motion to accept?
Make a motion for approval. Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, likewise, motion carries. The recorder has a report now for distributions for September.
Page 1 in the general fund, you'll see $50,027.45. That's to Cigna for both the employee and the employer portions of health care for the month of September. $2,400 to HyperReach is the annual contract fee for our emergency notification system. We made a payment to Trustmark National Bank that included principal and interest for $72,400 in our debt service on our loan to TML. Coralville Center at the bottom of page 1, $1,000, which is the annual appropriation for that organization is budgeted. Page 2, $900 to Jinx Concrete Contractors. That was a portion of the concrete work done on the fitness court. Further down, you'll see $243,333 to Public Entity Partners. That's our annual premium paid in full for property coverage, workers' compensation, and general liability coverage, including our auto liability. Further down, $9,256 to Sweetwater Utilities Board. That's a stormwater payment for the month. And then $3,121 to Tennessee Municipal League. That's the organization that represents us at the state level. That's an annual membership due from them as budgeted. Page 3 of the general fund, $1,035 to Virtual Academy. This is the software that Sweetwater Police Department is using in lieu of going in person to different training modules. Vulcan Materials Company, we paid $4,836.89 to, and that was the bulk of that was gravel. Page 4, $12,500 to Engineered Installation Solutions was a portion of the installation fee for the fitness court. And then right below that, National Fitness Campaign was paid $10,000. That was the donation from Sweetwater Hospital, matching funds for that grant, and we forwarded that on to the fitness campaign. Further down, you'll see $5,000 to Sweetwater High School. That's an annual appropriation to them. And then $28,945.45 was the utility bill for the month to Sweetwater Utilities Board. That does include the street lighting, which is about half of that amount. Page 5, $50,027.45. Again, that's the employee and the employer portion, but this was for the October premium for health insurance to Cigna. Nothing significant in State Street Aid nor in drug fund. In the tourism fund, this was the month of September, so you'll see several purchases that we made in preparation for the Rural Tourism Conference, which we've talked about several times. We'll still have more purchases that show up in the next month's meeting in October, but most of those purchases that day, in fact, everything in that fund except for the very top amount was for the Rural Tourism Conference. The $450 to Gresco Advertising. You may have noticed the city owns the land right next to Huddle House, and there's a billboard there. We put up a shop local, so that was a redesign. So we don't pay the billboard company to host that sign, but anytime we do a redesign, we pay for the new vinyl that goes on. So that's what that $450 was, and that was taken out of The library report is in there, and I see our wonderful library director here. If anybody has any questions about her expenditures. Home grants, we're kind of coming to a close on 2 of those homes. Is that right, Chuck? We actually handed keys to one of those homeowners on Friday, and she is in her brand new home on Blair Avenue. So we will not be having these charges moving forward for Valley Mobile Home Park, who let us rent from them. They gave us several months rent free, and then we paid the relocation expense. All of that is 100% grant through the home grant, and it'll be 100% reimbursed to the city. Solid Waste Collection Fund. Waste Connections was paid $22,229.53 that month for residential garbage pickup. And then we had 2 payments to Republic Services for our cans being emptied and hauled off. No activity in the ECD fund that month. And then the law enforcement agency, you'll see we spent a total of $4,212.11. Any questions?
Yeah. Did I understand the other night in the joint meeting that our stormwater project is way down to $270-something?
I do think that's right. I think the balance is below $300,000.
What is our payment on
$9,256. No cents.
that? Okay. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second. Any questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed likewise, motion carries. We will now open a public hearing to take comments on 2 different ordinances. Is anyone here present to speak about ordinance number 922, which establishes the rules of the road to citizens and to city court? Laura, are you here to speak on this? Okay. As that say, the Laura's she's our advisor for the planning commission. We're glad to have her to see you here tonight, Laura, along with Richard Kirkman. If not, the public hearing is now closed. Public hearing, old business, ordinance number ordinance number 993 to amend Title 14 to add R4 zoning. Public hearing, so is there anybody here to comment about 923, Title 14 to add R4 zoning? Okay, if not, the public hearing is closed. We have ordinance number 922. Is there a motion to accept?
Make a motion for approval of ordinance 992 as submitted.
922. Okay. Roll call, please. Any questions?
That's it.
This is my mistake. It is 992 and 993. I don't know why I put 2 in the public hearing, but that is not correct.
992 as listed under.
Let's just scroll over. There we go. 992 is the correct number.
Okay.
Sorry.
That actually wasn't my question.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Your turn.
I do not recall if anybody actually formally moved to amend the ordinance after its first reading and before the second reading. And if not, then if we're voting on it as amended, somebody needs to move to amend it. And that was an amendment to include
55.
excess noise.
I make a motion we amend.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Are we all clear?
On the amendment.
Okay.
You need to vote on it first.
Vote on the amendment. Is that a roll call vote or just a regular vote? Roll call vote on the amendment.
Commissioner Hughes? Commissioner Mosier?
Aye.
Commissioner Richardson, Commissioner West, Commissioner Stockton.
Okay, motion does carry. Now we have to vote on the, all right, we vote on ordinance as amended. Is there a motion?
Make a motion for the amendment of 992, correct? Not 22,
As amended.
as amended.
Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Hughes, Commissioner Mosier,
Aye.
Commissioner Richardson, Commissioner West, Commissioner Stockton.
Okay. Now, does that get this one right here too? Or we back on this?
That one's good. This one is up here. We're just taking it.
Approval of items tabled for the November workshop. When we can get a response from the card issuer that is tabled, that's the one that Jess wanted to up the limits on the credit card, and she still hasn't heard anything from that, so we'll just table that. Then we'll go back to ordinance number 993 to amend Title 14. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to amend Title 14, include Article 4.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Commissioner Hughes, Commissioner Mosier,
Aye.
Commissioner Richardson,
Aye.
Commissioner West, Commissioner Stockton.
Okay, motion does carry. Thank you. In new business, we have a vacancy in the police department and the office. First, the police position. Commissioner Stockton, do you have a motion?
We have, had a young man that left us just couldn't do the work, and we decided we need to do something else, so we hired an officer. Caleb Smith, who's a Sweetwater guy. Well, he worked here before. And, so far, the guy, he had real good luck. I won't make a motion to hire him as position of Caleb Smith.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed likewise, motion does carry. We now have a request to fill a office vacancy. Her name is Julia Fitch. She's fitting in perfect. She's very friendly, very beautiful personality. Jess, you got anything you want to add to that?
She's worked in county finance for the ambulance service, various different office positions, and she's picking up on things really quickly, so we're very excited to have her.
Do I hear a motion?
I'm making a motion to hire.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed likewise, the motion carries. We have a resolution with TDOT for the Red Stag project that enlists the city's support for the construction changes with no financial obligation. I think we went over that. Chuck, you have anything to add to that?
But just on the financial obligation, it was made very clear to me from TDOT that all we're completing on the application there is one page of the industrial access grant. And that's just because it goes through the same pot of money. But they are not expecting the city to maintain any of the utilities or pay for any moving of utilities. It's a state road, state access. They will be paying for all of the improvements. They simply are asking for the local support, which is what this resolution is, so that they can move it into what they call their funding hopper and get it ready.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed likewise, motion does carry. We discussed in the workshop the vacancy of a planning on Planning Commissioner, which expires 6/30/2023. I'd like to appoint Olivia, right back here, Shutter. That is a candidate. She's been here. She's very good at coming to meetings, and I would like to appoint her. I'd like to have a courtesy vote.
Move the appointment. Second.
Any discussion? All right. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise. Welcome aboard,
Thank you.
Olivia. Finally, we usually pay the annual police and fire in service around November. Is there a motion to approve that?
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Motion made second. Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, likewise. Motion does carry. Just want to remind everybody, the Veterans Day Parade is the 13th of November. Line up at 11 o'clock. I thought it was 10, but Jessica said it was 11. At Walmart, starts at 12. I think we can put together a ride for me and Buster and some of the commissioners.
I'm sure Detective Scruggs would be happy to do that.
And it will come up from the Walmart to the gazebo. One other thing I want to pass along to you, just got this today. We've received a TAP award. Downtown Connection Phase 1, federal construction funding awarded, $1,160,522. This is to put the sidewalk from somewhere in the neighborhood from the post office all the way down to 322. That'll be in the making for the next, I'll probably be gone when it's done. Anyway, we've got it, and that is good news for us. Chuck, you got any updates you'd like to make concerning some of the things going on in Sweetwater?
Well, we've talked a lot about Farmers Furniture, and I've gotten a phone call from their construction folks. They should finish up this next week with a few things, and hopefully they'll have a soft opening next week, and then there'll be a grand opening at some point, probably toward the end of November, 1st of December. But kind of glad to have that one opening up. As far as the Red Stag project, their construction office just called last week and asked for permission to go ahead and start footers in the next 3 weeks. So they're getting very, very, very close to start that building coming up. So we should see a lot of activity over the winter out there, and it's going to start very soon. Got a lot of building projects going on around town. There's a lot of residential activity that's beginning to sort of finish up that had started in the April-March timeframe. So a lot of houses are starting to finish now. It's a good thing that they're getting done, but we're also looking to have maybe a few more be built in the area. Just a lot of good things happening.
With all this going on, you're leaving.
I'm leaving you in better hands. It's got to be better, right?
I'm going to bring up something that I don't know. I think we need to address this in trying to find a replacement for Chuck. We, as a commission, are going to have to look at some of these pay scales. We tell, according to Jess and people that I have talked to, we tell what Chuck's job pays, and they laugh at us. Basically, that's what they do. Sam, have you incurred anything like that?
I've had one conversation that was similar, but this individual is coming from a federal environment, so.
Yeah. And I think one of these days before long, we'll have a working workshop they did this, I understand, before I was elected mayor, and sort of got things, but we've not kept up the pay scale from what I understand. And it's hard to get somebody, and Chuck, you've done an outstanding job for us. I want to tell you that right now, and we hate to see you go. We really do. And so that'll be probably sometime maybe before the workshop meeting coming up. There are one or two candidates that may be interested, but we're going to have to look at it. Do you think it's a fair, Jess, I'm just asking you because you talked more than I have.
We have MTAS does a salary survey every year, which is where we started with our pay scales. And so there's a range for every department head, for every ranked officer in police and fire, for the people in the office. But that scale has not really been formally compared to what MTAS is saying the other cities our size are making in 12 years. So it's probably time for us to take a look at it and at least make sure. Every employer is facing this right now. Employee retention is really hard right now. Employee recruiting is really hard right now. I definitely want to hang on to the good employees that we do have, and it's probably time to look at pay scales and just make sure that we're still competitive with the other cities our size and in similar job positions.
Okay, one other thing, and we'll be adjourned. Halloween last night, I've never seen such a crowd in my life, Eddie. It was huge, wasn't it? They were in Willow Creek, down there, and Mays Avenue, and downtown, and Price Street. They were everywhere. Did you have any trick-or-treaters?
At my house. The lights were off.
That's too far out.
But
I saw
I was-
something.
I was just saying, you know, I was out at 4:30 and it was already getting crowded. I'd never seen them that early.
But everything go good?
It went fabulous.
No
We didn't
problem.
have any, had one little girl that got misplaced, and we was able to get her to the PD and got her back with her guardian, and everything worked out well. We ran out of candy at the PD, and we really ran out of candy. You know, most of the time I'm like, are we really out? Where's the other at? I said, no, we're really out. Probably the most that I've seen.
I've never-
Saying, I mean, downtown was crowded. It was just a great evening. I mean, I thought everything went fabulous.
And John and his crew was over there
Yeah,
giving
oh,
out
yeah.
candy and,
Yeah, they helped with some of the traffic issues. It's, I was done this morning. I thought it went well. It's always good when it's over though.
but
I saw some things on Halloween in my lifetime. Saw something last night I never saw before. I can remember back when I was a young fella, about 10-year-old, a bunch of boys in high school put a buggy on top of Mr. Gagan's store on Highway 322, a four-wheel buggy. But last night, I saw a pickup truck driving around giving out candy to kids standing on the side of the road. So Halloween has come to the drive-in now.
Drive-through service.
that's true. Anything else? Anybody got anything? All minds clear? If so, we are adjourned.
Hey, Mayor, I'll just give you a quick update
Oh,
on
ready?
the American
Sorry, I
Rescue
overlooked you.
Plan that we're working on. Since I'm part of that committee, we had 3 meetings so far, and we're about ready to have one more before we get it wrapped up. We got to spend half of that money that we've received so far, and right now it looks like it's a water project, which includes Sweetwater, and we also have in plans to do that radio tower that come up the other night over here and one in Ballplay. So that's pretty much the gist of what will be going on in this first round, and we have to have it done by January 4th, I believe. As far as the mills go, we got to write some, what do they call it, short essays or something like that to have turned in 250 words or less. But long story short, that's what we're looking at right now, is the water projects and sewer projects in each city and the 2 towers. And we may have a little bit left to, but we're not sure yet what we're going to do with that amount.
That's 100% too, right?
Yeah, sure is.
We had a joint meeting the other night with the utility board, and the utility board, they've got some water tank issues that we're gonna try to help them out with, and this is gonna really be good.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And I think Eric said something about maybe $1.5 million from the county.
Right, yeah. And the good thing to that, which y'all may already know, that any type of the water projects, the state is committed to fund that as well, match whatever we do as well, so the $1 million can turn into $2 million, so there'll be extra money available as well. So it's a good time to get it done, whatever we can do.
You got anything you wanna add to that on the tower?
No, we've been in contact, me and Eddie, with the county, and, looks like we got the piece of property took care of, and,
Yeah,
moving forward.
yeah,
So we get told not to move forward.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think the only thing that has questions, I think about the lease for that property with Red State, but that should be easy to work out.
It's took care of, I believe.
Good.
I will leave you with this good news. We got our first drawdown on our emergency funding today of $860,000. Jessica already secured it in the bank. So, that's good. All right, thank you for being here. We're adjourned. Yeah, Michael.